A lot of our fires these days look like this. And as you can see, live trees crash to the ground. The canopy is scorched so that it loses all its leaves. What the tree ecologists are finding out is if you have a bad fire like this, the eucalypts in this forest, the woolly butts in this case, the dominant eucalypts, don't flower for about 3 years. So energy flow, nectar production, all that stops because some person lit a fire at the wrong time. Even the wrong time of day can cause this. Indigenous people had the secrets for all this. We've almost lost it now, thinking that, you know, with our cultural arrogance, we go for hazard reduction, we go for asset protection, all these things, not very ecological, but anyway, here's a little diagram that has been put out on the net to just show us in Australian terms how much fire occurs. This is in the period between 1997 and 2002. So a lot of those bright orange areas were burnt up to 4 times with fairly hot fires each year. So it can be awkward. Here's something that one of our associates here, John Winarski, he's now Professor John Winarski, he wrote this little paragraph I thought was very profound. The conservation challenge in Northern Australia is to achieve some balance in fire regimes such that not enough of the landscape is frequently burnt to provide benefit for species such as the bandicoot, and John was a mammologist, he loved his native mammals, and enough of the landscape is infrequently burnt to provide benefit to species such as the possum. At present, that balance does not exist. In the eucalypt savanna, there are few areas that escape fire for more than 5 years. The possums and their teammates are losing out. And I'm afraid he's dead right. However, Neville's gang, we're on the money. And we're getting back to this now. Indigenous burning regimes produced a reduction in the fuel so that a hot, dry season fire couldn't cause damage later in the year. So they do these gentle little burns. There's Violet just lighting a fire there out in Kakadu. The right day of the year, they say if you do it on the right day of the year, you actually benefit plants and animals. If you're too early, you don't achieve the benefits of fire. If you're too late, you do damage. And if you're really late, like that bad fire I showed you, you can put the ecosystem backwards about 10 years. So these people really knew what they were doing. Amazing. So we've got little groups now who are doing this, burning back to the traditional regimes. And here's an example of a good fire. Just have a look at the intensity of this fire. What this is doing is actually getting rid of the dead annual grasses and shed leaves and whatnot of the wet season, but it's not even killing the seedlings that baby eucalypts and other small trees, they're all surviving, no problems at all. So I won't dwell on this, but if you lit a fire in this environment during the middle of the day, a few weeks later, you could have an intense fire that burnt the canopy of the forest. So there's the difference. I'll move along here. Now, when a fire goes through our ecosystems up here, through the sorghum areas, straight away, if it's a cool fire like this one, this is a little what we call a mosaic burn, a gentle burn. There's a Gouldian finch down there getting toasted muesli, I assume. They're interested in the seeds that they can now get access to, which have fallen through to the ground, but are still available. The fire wasn't a high enough intensity to burn the seeds, so they have another bonanza. So again, Aboriginal people were in sympathy with the ecosystem that was around them. Now, Neville talked about Dua and Yiricha speargrass. This is the Dua speargrass. This is annual sorghum. And this is less than a week after a cool fire. So you can see if the fire's low intensity, it allows perennial plants, the permanent ones, to keep growing and producing salads for agile wallabies and things like that. Some of John Winarski's mates will be grazing on these things. And this is what a good fire can look like. The fire's been through this area. Now, I was just in this area the other day. I've been watching this one for years. And the fire's gone through, and you can see there's enough moisture in the soil to produce another green layer for all the herbivores, the Antilla pine kangaroos, the agile wallabies, the nail-tail wallabies. They all live in this habitat. So you see, if people are in sympathy with these seasons, they know when to burn and how to burn, and everybody's happy.